Welcome back. You're watching the... I don't know. I really don't know where this is going. I'm not sure what you're watching. You're either watching the Handyman, the #1 home improvement YouTube channel in the entire world, or you're watching the Handyman Business YouTube channel. I don't know where it's going yet. Today, I'm going to be putting together what's inside this box. I just got back from 10 days in the wilderness. Extreme Arctic conditions. -3 wind chill factors. And a camper. My camper. The furnace, well, it performed okay, but it's really loud and it sucks a lot of battery. And when I got home, I'm like, I'm gonna look for different ideas to heat my camper. And I came across some van dwellers. Those people who live in vans, they build their vans, they love their vans. Well, this is the heater that they all put inside their vans. It is a Chinese diesel heater. Yes, that's what they go by. Chinese diesel heater. Not a diesel heater, a China one. I started doing more and more research, and people are using these to heat their garage. They're using them to heat their tiny homes. They're using them to heat their workshops. So I thought, hey, maybe I'll make a video out of it. Maybe somebody out there wants to know my opinion on these Chinese diesel heaters. They want to see it in action, and they want to see it outside of a van. They maybe want to see it in a big workshop or a tiny house. This may end up going in the camper. We're going to set it up here today, tonight, right now, and see if we can get it to work, and hopefully we don't die. Just live dangerously, Handyman. Just do an unboxing video. Actually, have misplaced my multi-tool. I feel absolutely naked without it. I have anxiety when I don't have all the parts of my EDC. It's like leaving the house without your cell phone. You freak out. I do the same thing without a tool, without my flashlight, and a few other things. This is my pocket knife. I don't normally carry a pocket knife. I carry a full-on multi-tool, but it's from Gerber. It's got a good sharp blade on it, and it's got a good screwdriver. It's reversible. Flathead and Phillips. And what else is on here? There's an awl and a good pair of scissors. So it's pretty good. Just doesn't have any pliers. It's not real good at one-handed opening though. The little, I don't even know what this thing is called. I'll leave a link in the description for this little pocket knife tool here. It's a good alternative when you can't wear your big multi-tool with you, on you, with you, in you. Ooh. This is it. Smells about right. This is the fuel pump. It's like a little plunger that goes click, 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 click. This could be the deal breaker, is I hate hearing sounds when I'm trying to sleep. So if this thing is clicking, click, 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 and I can hear it, I'm not gonna be able to sleep. That's for a situation if I were to put this inside of the camper. A digital thermostat here. Is it up, down, okay, something? Yeah, okay, it goes just like this. It even has a remote control. So I can hit on and off and maybe up and down. This connects with this. So if I'm in bed and it's getting cold, I can just hit the on button. Or if it's getting too hot, I can just turn it down. It's rated at a 5 kilowatt. Well, what does a 5 kilowatt in heat transfer to BTUs? 5 kilowatts is around 17,500 BTUs of heat. British thermal units. I'm going to start with plumbing the fuel tank. It's 10 liters. I think that's what I said before. So if I do install this in my camper, it's going to go inside a compartment door and right there, so I can fill this from the outside. Now it comes with a little spot right there to drill, to put your little nipple on there. Oh shoot, can't say the N word. That would mean that the fuel is going to go out the bottom of the camper to come all the way back in the camper. I want to keep everything fully self-contained. I'm going to drill my hole right here and then just slightly tip it like this. So you have to, it's going to get tricky. This goes down inside in here. And you have to thread it through that hole. Well, how the heck do you do that? Stay tuned to see how I get this to go in here and out there so that O-ring is on the inside. And then we put another O-ring on the outside and a nut. And yeah, gonna be interesting. It's always a good feeling when you open up your drill bit case and they're all there. So I'm going to drill this just slightly smaller than those threads so that these threads actually thread into the hole. It's gonna be a 1/4 inch. I don't know what that is in millimeters over there in China, but we're using a 1/4 inch drill bit. It's gotta be on a flat spot. Don't want it coming out the curves. There's a burr on there, so I'm gonna have to get in there and take that burr off. How am I gonna do that? Well, they have special tools for that, which I don't have. Probably put that on my list. New tools to get. This is my little metal working area. It's also the bar. So what I'm going to do is make a tool, a little deburring tool to get inside that hole with this razor blade. Now I'm going to grind off half the blade to dull that down. And well, then you're just going to have to watch. Watch real close. Alright, now I got a curved little razor blade that I can stick in there and shave off that burr. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So there's the burr that I just shaved off the inside of the hole. Now the next part is a little tricky. I have to get this all the way down inside of here and coming out this hole. There. Now we got a piece of copper. Put this in here like that. There we go. Oh, idiot. Son of a... So right now you can see how it slid right down to the hole there. And I'll put a little kink, just a slight little kink up in this one. Just a little wiggle in it. And we'll see if this works. Look at that. It worked. So now you can see those threads just cutting into that hole, that 1/4 inch hole. It's just slightly smaller. This O-ring and this nut go over it. Just going to snug this down to squish both of those O-rings around the plastic. Next thing I'm going to do is install the filter, fuel filter. I'm kind of thinking this out in my head of how many different situations, different scenarios this could be in. I can always get more of this. But you're going to use the flexible on the non-pressurized side. This is also going to be what you use to make your junctions. This will actually go inside here, and this will get clamped here and on to the barb. So it's kind of like a splice, and you don't want a gap in there. You want this pushed all the way in up to where the other barb is, like that, but with the rubber hose around it and 2 clamps, one on each side. Moving right along, got the filter connected. Now the next one is the pump. I just had it, here it is. I believe the plug is on the pressure side, so the side that goes to the heater. And I've been heating this up just a little bit on the torch that's over there in the vise. Just waving it over the top till it gets warm. Takes maybe 10 seconds and makes sliding this on easier. Always make sure you put your hose clamps on first, but if you don't, you can back these out and thread them in there and it's not that big of a deal. Now the hose clamps that come with the kit are extremely low quality, but I'm using them. No, I've got some. I don't think I've got enough little ones up in the cabinet there. Woo. Gotta get some better tools for the workshop. All my tools are out in the tool trailer. All the hoses, the tubing, I should say, is hooked up. Just gonna put the exhaust port on here, or the exhaust pipe. That's it. This is the intake pipe. This is meant to be mounted on an exterior wall, either your floor, your wall, and these two things here will be outside of your vehicle or camper or workshop. I think you can get away with keeping this inside. It's just supposed to bring in combustible air. I don't think this is powerful enough to use up all the combustible air in this workshop. Just going around hooking up these wires now. It's pretty self-explanatory. Haven't even used the directions yet. Could get there though. Fuel pump hooked up, fan hooked up. We've got a fused power lead here. I wonder if they put a fuse in it. 20 amps. So this will be power, this will be ground, and the only thing left is the thermostat. That's a weird looking thermostat wire. Got the EcoFlow Delta. I got the alligator clips plugged into the cigarette lighter. All right, look at that. Powered right on up. Got some diesel fuel, gas oil. I'm not gonna put too much in to start with. I'm gonna put it in about here, and then I have to prime it. Got to get fuel all the way up into here. First thing I got to do is make sure that it doesn't leak. Alright. There's a glow plug in here that draws, I don't know how many amps, but it draws some amperage. And I don't know if this is a good enough connection, and I'm not sure what the max output is. I think 10 amps is the max out. Hopefully that's enough. Power this on. Got some diesel on my hands. Okay, we press and hold down, then up. All right, so right now this is running dry without any lubrication. I can see it sucking in the filter. I should have filled the filter up. I should have primed the filter all the way up to here. But it seems like it's going pretty good. You can see right down in there, diesel going in there. And to prevent air bubbles, I'm going to lift this whole system up. So I better do that now. It's actually got more diesel in it than it does bubbles. So I think I'm going to kill the priming and see if I can get this thing to fire up. Now this is where I'm not sure if I'm going to run out of amperage, and I'm not sure if I'm doing it right. So it's going to tell me somehow I got to start this thing. Oh boy. Pulse rate. We don't want to mess with pulse rates. I'm supposed to just push the power button. There it goes. We're only drawing 10 watts, 13 watts. So on the screen here, you can see there's a little glow plug that's lit up. That is that red thing right there. And that means the glow plug's on, and we're drawing 70 watts DC. Out of the car port. 80 now. That's where I think we might overload the circuitry in here. We're almost up to 100 watts out of we got output, we've got some exhaust. This is just burning basically the shipping oil that's in there, maybe some of the diesel fuel that got pumped into there while I was priming. Now here in another minute or two, this pump should kick on. There it goes. Here's some flames going in there now. Ooh, still bleeding out a lot of these air bubbles. This does come with a muffler. I got a feeling all these air bubbles have to get bled out. The glow plug is still on in there. Once it comes up to a certain temperature, that glow plug will turn off. Just like in a diesel truck. All right, listen to that baby taking off. Like a dang jet airplane. Still doing 114, 116 watts. Now, as soon as that glow plug kicks off, our watt consumption should go way down. It's pretty. Holy cow. Okay, the glow plug is off. Whew, don't want... Oh, that's hot. Yeah, I'm definitely going to want to put a heat shield in here to keep this away from there. But now glow plug's off. You can see it's ramping up the heat exchanger temperature. This gets all the way, it goes up higher. They were clicking away and we have dropped down to only about 40 watts. It's pumping out heat, pumping out a lot of heat, but it's also pumping a lot of exhaust. So this here is supposed to go through a wall, like this gets mounted onto a wall. All right, well, just powered it up. Have the exhaust going out the window. Again, this is just for testing purposes right now, just to see if it works, if it's consistent, if it's reliable. I may do like I said, I may do a more permanent solution, tidying all this up onto like a handheld box. This is the air intake right here. This is where the hot air comes out. And again, exhaust goes out there. And there's another little port right here, which is an air intake. And I've got a tube and a filter that I can also put on this. Well, it's clicking away over there. That click is definitely something that I would have to isolate, probably house it outside of a camper in a little insulated sound box. I'm gonna let that run. I may top it off with diesel and just kind of do a test. See how reliable it is. Does it overheat? Does it get dangerous at all? Before I go putting it in a camper. I won't leave it unsupervised until I've ran it for a few days at least. Kind of a neat invention. This is like a European thing, and China copied them. You can buy a European version of this for about $1,200. I paid $180 off of Amazon for a China version. But you can run this on a lower setting for like 30 hours and it'll only consume 1 gallon of diesel. And this is 10 liters. I'm not going to do the conversion, but you can do that. You see, got lots of hot, warm air coming out of there. It's actually just starting to slow down. Maybe that means the heat exchanger has come up to the correct temperature, because the pump is slowing the clicks down. Still not sure where I'm going to put this video. I got to put it somewhere. I'll have to see what it turns out like after I edit it. But if you enjoyed this in any way at all, hit that like button. If you want to see me do the full build where I put all that into a box and do some sort of plumbing so that I can just sneak that into a compartment underneath the bed in the camper, I still have to do something about that dang clicking. I wouldn't be able to sleep with all that clicking going on. We'll have more home improvement projects coming soon. This was just something I decided to do and kind of test the waters a little bit. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.